Good evening and welcome to live coverage on the TC Hub, JDAT Football, JB Sports, Commentary Hub 2 on Storm FM, plus Periscope, Twitter and Twitch. England's biggest game in Group I of the World Cup Qualifiers in Warsaw at the Stadion Nowotny. The referee from Germany, Daniel Sibird, is coming out. And there on the Polish side, being led out by Robert Lewandowski, which is... Remember, the teams have already met at Wembley and Poland lost 2-1. But significantly, they didn't have Lewandowski in the side. They have him back tonight. 5 points between the top two at this moment in time. And England making 11 changes, but it's probably their strongest possible 11. That is for sure. And it's going to be an hostile atmosphere. Let's hope and pray there is no racist remarks from any of the Polish fans. And no repeat of what we saw on Thursday night, last Thursday, what happened in Hungary. England won their previous two games, 4-0 against Austria, of course, and a much-changed side on Sunday at Wembley against Andorra. But tonight it's a totally different proposition. Robert Lewandowski will be facing it up now, and we're all set to go now. All we've got to do now is hang you for the two national anthems in just a second or two. And we'll get those sorted out for you in just a second or two. But the Polish fans in good heart and in good voice. And here we go with the national anthem, starting with England's. Well, we're all set to go then. A terrific atmosphere. The crowd absolutely buzzing here in Warsaw tonight. And I think this is going to be a really tough test for England's Lions tonight. Right, let's take a check on the two teams very quickly before the kickoff. Starting with Poland, I'm going to go down in list order from goalkeeper to the end. And it's Szczesny, the former Arsenal goalkeeper in goal, now plays for Juventus. Dabodzic, Bednarek of Southampton, Jokovac, Linetti, Lewandowski, number 9, who leads the side, Karajak, Bushka, Gilic, Moda, and Punchant. That's the lineup for the Poles tonight. England have made 11 changes from the win against Andorra, and I'm not surprised with this game in mind. So here's the lineup. It's a 1-11, this one. Easy for us tonight. It's Jordan Pickford in goal, and then it's Kyle Walker, Luke Shaw, Declan Rice of West Ham, John Stones of Manchester City, Harry Maguire of Manchester United, Jack Grealish of Manchester City, Calvin Phillips of Leeds, Harry Kane of Tottenham, Raheem Sterling of Manchester City, and Mason Mount of Chelsea. Pickford, of course, plays for Everton. Walker plays for Manchester City, and Luke Shaw for Manchester United as well. I'll just go for the English bench. 2 goalkeepers, Pope and Johnson of Burnley and West Brom, Trippier and Henderson, Cody, Saka, Trent Alexander-Arnold, Jesse Lingard, who's turned out a new deal at Old Trafford, incidentally, and could be on West Ham's radar in the winter. Reece James, Jude Bellingham, and Patrick Bamford, who won his first cap on Sunday afternoon. Referee tonight is Daniel Serbet from Germany. And the first thing I can tell you that the blue shirts are going to be worn by England tonight. The 2 assistants, Full-Time and Rupp, they're both German as well. 4th official is Daniel Schweiger of Germany, and Bastian Dankar, the referee in his own right, is also refereeing, is the VAR official as the players take the knee. As they take the knee in their ongoing thing against racism. Notable what I just saw Lewandowski do there. Pointed to the respect badge there, and I hope the Polish fans have respected that as we get underway. Big game for England this. If they win tonight or don't lose, they take a huge step towards the European Championship, to the World Cup finals, a year almost to the month next month. So this really is win time now. Paulo Sousa's side in second place. It would a playoff chance as well. Even if they lose tonight, you're still fancy them to reach the playoffs. But of course, we'll find out in 90 minutes whether it's going to be enough. Lewandowski there, the record goal scorer. There's Gareth Southgate. Steve Holland just in the background, I can see. What a night for those two. If they can get a positive result, a draw or a win would do perfectly here in Warsaw tonight. If they can get a win or a draw, then I think England have got 1 foot on the plane to Qatar next year. But here goes. The ball not forward there. It was Linetti trying to get the ball forward, but again, good start English defence. And a free kick has been awarded, I think, to Poland, fouled by Grealish. And of course, just to remind you that we'll keep you abreast of all the other qualifying scores. In fact, it's a throwing given, which Jogomix is going to take. We'll keep you abreast of how Wales are getting on and Northern Ireland are getting on tonight in their groups. And we'll keep you up to date with their scores as well. They've kicked off exactly the same time, and we'll give you latest scores from all the qualifiers from all around Europe tonight. So plenty to watch out for as the ball is hooked away by Wojciech Szczesny, formerly of Arsenal, now with Juventus. Maguire wins the header just shy of halfway. In fact, there was a foul there on the Manchester United skipper, and a free kick it is to England. In all blue tonight. Poland in the white shirts with red shorts, and they're attacking Poland. They go to the right-hand side. Here's Kane. England going from left to right. And this really will be the toughest test so far of Southgate's men at the moment. But they've got some very good individuals, players, of course. Grealish is there. Rice intercepting well. Looks second favourite in that challenge. Came away with it. But here's Lewandowski now on halfway. Trying to get a Polish attack going. And Daradic is trying to make a break on that near side. But he couldn't be found. And the ball is knocked away this time. And England starting okay. Mount is in very strongly there, but it's a throw into the Poles. We are live on the TC Hub, TC Hub 2, Twitter, Twitch, and Periscope. And also, we're on JB Sports, JDAT Football, and Storm FM. Our broadcast partners for the season. And of course, our streaming partner is the Melon app, and Lewandowski having 1 or 2 words to say here. Started a little bit feisty in the opening 3 minutes. There was a bit of a challenge there. It was Mount there on one of the Polish players. I couldn't tell who it was. I think it was Karachak who was fouled. The great atmosphere. There's a cracking atmosphere inside this ground. No away supporters, of course, but At the end of it all, it's gonna be a tough test for England tonight. There's no doubt about that. And of course, we'll keep you, as I say, we'll keep you abreast. As soon as we get a breaking play, we'll keep you abreast of how Wales and Northern Ireland are doing tonight. If you heard Nicholas Jones' delayed commentary earlier on of the Scotland victory, what a victory that was last night. Anyway, here's Jorkat now taking it up now for the Poles. He's got support there on the near side. The cross coming from Damage, and then England were also at sea there in defence and got away with it. And here goes Sterling now on the break for England. Up to Kane. Kane holds it up well. And does well, the England captain. Pirouettes away from a Polish defender. England have possession. Here's number 8. Kelvin Phillips in possession. Finds Grealish near side, the left-hand side. Grealish, the Manchester City man. Grealish tries to get it back, and it's a corner kick. Well, it looked like a corner kick, and Grealish is furious with the German referee. From the first angle I saw it from, that looked a corner, and I think Grealish has a point. That came off Joneswack last. That should have been a goal. That should have been a corner. I think Grealish has every right to feel aggrieved about that. Not a good decision at all from the referee. Goal kick it is, although it should have been a corner for England, which actually to take right-footed. 5 minutes gone on the commentary helm with JB John Stuttard, your commentator for tonight's game. And it's a big one for England. Win or draw, and that should put them on the plane, or put them at least a foot on the plane to Qatar next year. Of course, it will be the first ever World Cup to be played in winter time. So England will want to be there as well. We'll keep you abreast with anything that happens between Wales and involving Wales and Northern Ireland. They've got games coming up this evening, and in forward of what a corner. And that looked as much dubious as the corner that England didn't get. But Declan Rice came across and defended really well. Let's have a look at where this one came off. Well, that's a bit of a 50-50 one as well. But, well, make up your own minds there if you're watching the screen or listening to us. Anyway, it's a corner to be taken by Moda, the Brighton player, into the penalty area. Ball knocked away. I beg your pardon there. But a little bit of a danger there. A verdict for England. But I don't know, stemmed from a poor bit of refereeing when England should have had a clear corner. Now, I wonder if VAR would have checked that if they'd have been allowed to. I would have assumed they would have done. But the German referee, Mr. Seibert, and now England are in all sorts of disarray. Another crude challenge going in there, and it's Kelvin Phillips of Leeds who's going to get the caution with just 7 minutes gone. And I think that's probably a bit overzealous from the referee, because Punchak has got a bit of a reputation for making a meal of it. Yes, it's a slight stamp, but it's a first defence, and I think the Polish player makes a bit of a meal of it. And Gareth Southgate, you can feel his frustration. I didn't think it was a yellow card. It was a 3 kick, nothing more, nothing less. And I think for a first offence, I think the German referee, he's been rather excessive there. But what it means is that Kelvin Phillips has now got to watch his step. I know it might seem painful to Punchak now, but I think he made a bit more of it than it needed to be. Moda's going to take the 3 kick from the far side. I think the referee may be influenced by this partisan Polish crowd, because there's no England fans that have travelled over to Poland because of the COVID regulations. The 3 kick was poor from Moda, incidentally. Wasn't the very best that I've seen him put in. Of course, Moda came on against, you may remember, against Burnley and changed the course of the game in the first weekend of the Premier League season. Anyway, here's number 11 now, Mason Mount. Mount cutting in from the left-hand side. He's got Declan Rice for company, and Rice now towards the byline on the left-hand side, and surely that's going to be a corner. Unless he did it. Well, Rice reckons it should have been an English corner. Now, England have had 2 corners now, not given by the referee. Now, was this more of a goal kick? Well, I think that's another corner. England have been robbed of 2 corners in the opening 5 minutes of this game. And then Stones had a bit of a battle there with Lewandowski. He went down. And it's, well, I've got to admit, we've been 9 minutes into the game, and I've got to admit, the German referee has not refereed it well. He's been poor, and now he's giving a throw-in to Poland when it looked as if it was a dead-eyed, dead-set England throw-in. This referee is not fit for purpose, and he's been refereeing this match for nearly 9.5 minutes, and he's made 4 questionable decisions. 4 questionable decisions in this opening 9.5 minutes. 2 corners that should have been given but weren't. A yellow card which was harshly, very harshly given, in my opinion, to Calvin Phillips. And a clear throw-in for England, not given the other way. And there's no doubt at all, in my book, that the referee is being influenced by this Polish support out there. They're trying to put the pressure on him. Here's Lewandowski now on the far side. Has to turn. Lewandowski now gets the cross in towards the number 7 there at the back. Grealish wins possession for England. Now Rice in possession, goes forward, but he's tackled nicely there. And that's surely going to be a free kick to England. And, well, about time he got to give a decision in England's favour. There's not many friends here in England, that's for sure. It was Bednarek, the Southampton man, who pushed it quite clearly in the back. Now, sure, he's got to even account and book him as well. Be consistent. But also be as consistent as whether you're good or bad. Just be consistent. Well, a rare opportunity now for England with a free kick. England so far in this opening 10 minutes have had the worst of the decisions. And at least and up to 4 of them have been absolutely questionable. Here's Walker now. Far side for England. Knocked away, though. Wasn't a good cross. Mind you, that Walker didn't have much to aim for when crossing in from the right, and Bednarek was able to knock it out for a throw-in on the far side. England's throw. Can they make something of it? Here's Kane edging the penalty area from the throw-in from the right. Walker has it on the far side. Sterling takes possession. And was that a foul? No. Clean tackle, said the referee. He was about 2 or 3 yards away. And here's Shaw now for England inside the centre circle. Picks the ball up. Shaw now. To Rice. To the left-hand side. And that's surely got to be a free kick. And a yellow card surely for that. And that was just as violent as the earlier one that Phillips got actually booked for. That was, in fact, more violent than that one. And surely he's got to get the book out here. And I don't think he is. Well, that was a more horrible challenge than the Phillips yellow card, and I think he's got away with it. I cannot believe that referee. I can't believe the referee is not being consistent. If you're going to put one player from one side for a challenge that was less than the one, then you've got to book the other. Sorry, but that's the way it should be. Anyway, England free kick. Shaw with it from the left-hand side. In the penalty area it goes. Bit of game of head tennis. Then the volley, or attempted volley by, I think it was Maguire, I think. It was right in there to try and volley it. Phillips having to watch Moda then, the number 16, the Brighton player. Ball out of play. English throw. Well, it's been a 12 minutes, 13 minutes rather, of talking points and questionable decisions. I've counted on my finger 4, maybe 5 questionable decisions, all given in Poland's favour. I don't think the German referee's been completely unbiased at all. And I don't even think that's a free kick either, if that is the case. On Karajak. I think he may have slipped there, although Phillips was on the scene. I don't even think that was a free kick, actually, quite frankly. I don't think Phillips touched him. Another questionable decision from this referee, who's winning no friends with this commentator, that's for sure. 13.5 minutes gone here in Warsaw, Poland, and it's Poland 0, England 0, World Cup Group I qualification. 5 points to get between the two sides. England in first position. Poland in second place, could close the gap to 2 points with a victory here tonight. Lewandowski into the penalty area. Chance there, shot comes in, and it was easily taken at the near post. It was Mulder's shot, and Pickford had it covered at the near near left-hand post. And we'll try and get a score update from Wales and Northern Ireland's games now for you. They're good in possession, and I can tell you that Germany are winning against Iceland. Italy are 2 up against Lithuania already. Wales 0, Estonia 0. And I can't really see Northern Ireland score at the moment, but we'll try and bring you that one in a second. Hungary are leading Andorra in the one that England are involved in. Northern Ireland 0, Switzerland 0 is currently the current score here. As Grealish takes possession now for England. Coming up to a quarter of an hour. Here's Grealish crossing there, and that surely must be a corner, and about time too, referee. Well, I tell you what, if he'd have given a goal kick there, then I think he must give up the day job, because he's not fit for purpose, this referee, I'm telling you. And England now get the corner. It's only taken the referee quarter of an hour to get into this game. Shaw's put it right on the quadrant. It's just touching the quadrant. Kane, Stones, Maguire all in there. Shaw to take it from the near side. Referee again not happy with the position of that ball. Shaw is going to look it in there towards the near post. It wasn't a particularly good corner. Mount will try the shot from outside the penalty area, right-footed. Charged away, and now here come Poland on the break. And here's Kawazak, but he's lost possession. No foul there. It was well taken. Kane now on the right-hand side. Crossed in there towards Grealish, but it's turned away by Ragnarek. Good defending by the Poles. Phillips now has possession. The only man so far to have been booked, and I thought it was a harsh decision. Kane takes it in on the edge of the penalty area, but he loses out. But Rice wins the header. Farty was impeded, but the referee decides to play on. So far, it's been a tough examination of England as the ball is spreading out towards the far side, and the crowd now start to rise with expectancy now. The cross comes in, well chested down by Harry Maguire. Just to remind you, Wales are drawing 0-0 and the Northern Ireland are at 0-0. But we'll try and keep a check on them games as soon as we get a break in play of this game. Italy 2 up in their match, as well elsewhere around Europe. But in this one that we're really focusing our minds on, it's Poland 0, England 0. Poland have had just about shedded in possession, but they've had more of it due to the fact they've been given some iffy decisions by the referee in this opening 17 minutes. England just been a bit wasteful in possession there. Maguire charging forward and giving the ball away, but Poland then wasted good possession themselves. England get the throw. Just on halfway. Rice in possession for England. That's a muff that's just gone right in front of the television camera lens, which isn't helping matters, but not disturbing with my identification of the England players at the moment. With Maguire in possession for England. Paolo Sousa, former Swansea manager, of course. That's exactly what he seems to expect. Swansea built a side that was based on good attack free flowing football. Ball played into the penalty area. Dangerous one. And Maguire did just enough with Bushka coming right in on it. Could have been a whole heap of trouble there for England. Wales and Northern Ireland drawing in their games, respective group games. Here at the moment, it's 0-0. Walking down the right-hand side. Walker's got Sterling in the middle. So too is Grealish. Kane is on the edge of the area. Kane loses possession rather cheaply, but England get the ball back. And Grealish is onside. Grealish is onside. Here's Man now trying to bend one, and he bends it over the top of the bar for a goal kick. To Poland with 18 minutes gone here in Warsaw. There's the cross from Punchak. And just evaded number 14, Bushka, inside the penalty 6-yard area. A positive touch, and that was 1-0 to the Poles, no doubt about it. You've got to take the emotion and the yellow, the iffy referee decisions. Look at that, Paulo Sousa and the fourth official there. Shalaga having a little bit of a chuckle there. I just wonder. I don't want to accuse Poland or accuse Paulo Sousa of anything, but I just wonder if there's been a little bit of collusion at the start, because some of the decisions that the German officials have made in this opening 19 minutes, I can count 5 off my fingers that have been either questionable or completely and utterly stupid and wrong. Not good enough for a set of German officials who, let's be fair, referee one of the greatest leagues in the world, the Bundesliga, and they should be refereeing or officiating this game an awful lot better than what they are doing. Not good enough. But here come Poland again. Ball up forward towards Lewandowski, but Walker's on the cover, and we'll do very well there just to keep it going. And now Phillips in possession. Phillips has to turn. Looks for Walker. Walker now turns once again. If you just joined us on TC Hub and TC Hub 2, JDAT Football and JB Sports and Storm FM, you haven't missed any goals so far this evening because we're at 0-0. And we're live until the finish here this evening. And we'll try and keep you up to date with what's happening with Northern Ireland and what with Wales as well. Scotland winning, of course, 1-0 late last night. Terrific result in Austria. Nicholas Jones brought you the late commentary of that earlier on today. And what a great job he did too. Here's Maguire now for England. 0-0 here in Warsaw in the Group I of the World Cup Qualifiers. A place in Qatar up for grabs for England tonight if they can take that opportunity. Maguire's in possession. Looks for Walker. On it goes to Phillips. Right-hand side. Sterling now takes possession on the right-hand channel. Looks to run at defenders. Still Sterling. Goes by his man. Sterling gets the cross in. Looking towards Kane and with a back header. And it's knocked away. Almost off the line. That was a dicey little moment there for Poland. And another Polish player has gone down. Lewandowski, the captain, is down. Trying to exaggerate an injury there. It's a little grimace on his face, but I'm not sure if that's genuine or whether he was play acting. But Kane had the best chance there for England. Quite unmarked as it happens. And just couldn't divert any real direction on the header, which could have caused 1 or 2 troubles there. And in actual fact, what I'm going to do, folks, I'm going to bring you the how Wales are going at half time, because our score figure is just slowing our stream of the game down, so we need to keep our focus on England. But we will keep you up to date with Wales, and when the whistle goes at half time, we'll let you know Wales are getting on tonight, and Northern Ireland too. So don't you worry, we will keep you we'll keep you abreast of what's going on elsewhere in Europe before we take our little half-time interval. But right now, for the rest of the first half, we're just going to keep our focus purely and simply on England. Gareth Southgate, the England manager. Another difficult moment now for England to try and quell us. Another free kick comes in then. 4 fouls. I have to say one or two of them were big questionable decisions. Stajny now takes possession on the edge of his own area. Always play like Manuel Neuer. Ball has been knocked out towards the far side where Punchach has lost it. And now England have a chance, and Kane is offside. Chips the ball over Stajny into the back of the net, but the goal obviously won't count because the flag had gone up a few seconds prior. So we'll look whether he was offside or not. Yeah, it was about a yard, maybe more off there. And for once, I've got to say, well done to the German officials. I think they were right. I think they were absolutely spot on the money for once in this match. See, I do give credit to referees when they get it right. Official and linesmen when they get it completely right. So one offside each. We've been playing now for 22.5 minutes, so we're halfway practically through the first half here in Walsall. Alternate commentary of Poland against England in association with our streaming partner, which is Melon. This is the Melon streaming app. And we're also live with our broadcast partners, which are JB Sports, Commentary Hub 2, JDAC Football, and Storm FM. We're also live on Periscope, Twitter, and Twitch. JB, John Stuttard, your host and commentator for this game tonight. A huge game in Group I. We'll give you progress on how Northern Ireland are doing at half-time, and Wales too. But at the moment, we're going to concentrate on England. And we're halfway through the first half. The reason why we're doing it is because it's been a non-stop first half for a start. But you have masses of talking points. And then the fact of the matter that our stream has been slowed down because we're trying to get the actual scores in at the moment. But we'll bring you a lowdown of all the half-time scores from around Europe as soon as we're finished with the first half. So don't worry, you'll find out what's going on elsewhere at half-time just before I leave you for 10 minutes. Here's Maguire in possession now for England. We're back to the old format on JB Sports because Russ, who's producing, is watching the game as an England fan tonight. So it's me holding the fort for Jeff for the TC Hub tonight. And of course, we'll have Premier League action this weekend. Well, we've certainly got the tea time kickoff for you. Mike Harneman's going to be your commentator for that one. We're also hoping to cover a championship game on Friday, Birmingham City against Wayne Rooney's Derby County, so a possible debut there. And we'll also have delayed coverage of Cristiano Ronaldo's Old Trafford debut, or second Old Trafford debut, as Manchester United take on Newcastle. Just some of the games we're aiming to cover for you on TC Hub this weekend, and they'll be played all out, live or delayed, across all the platforms for you to listen along to this weekend. Just a few of them, as we capture the width and breadth of the English game, both male and female as well, covered by the TC Hub this season. Anyway, here goes Kyle Walker, finds Raheem Sterling, right-hand side. 25 gone. Here's Sterling, very good. Just has to hold it up, finds Walker. Howell has to go back to Walker, deep inside Polish territory. Remember, England attacking the goal to my left in this first half, Paul on the right. Both teams have had half an opportunity each, but still no score. Again, really, that's a questionable referee written all over it by Danielle Shibert, the referee. It's amazing, really, when I last commentated on a football match, and that was the women's Super League game between Everton and Manchester City ladies. The referee that particular evening or that afternoon was Kirsty Dowie, and she had a super match in comparison. And I think she would have probably refereed it a little bit differently to what this guy is doing right now. As we come to the 26-minute mark on the TC Hub. Don't forget, we've got a Twitter handle as England get a free kick. We're live on Twitter, of course. Our Twitter handle is Commentary Live 1. And my Twitter handle, if you want to follow me on Twitter, is at Stutzy83. As Grealish doesn't get what looked a free kick there for a foul, or a foul that's been waved away by Gillick. It did look as if Grealish was being held back, but maybe his reputation just goes before him a little bit. Maguire now cuts that ball out, and he was certainly fouled there by Busquets, and a free kick to England deep inside the road half. But should they have had a free kick down the other end, because Grealish had a piece of Grealish. In fact, he was holding him back and pulled him down. And again, the German officials didn't spot anything, and no wonder Grealish was fuming at Gillick there, because that, to me, and I don't know how you guys felt listening to the commentary and watching at home, that looked a free kick on Grealish. That was definitely a free kick by Busquets on Maguire. He's backing into Harry Maguire, but they should have had a free kick almost by the far corner quadrant. Further down the field, England. It really amazes me. This German referee, we've been playing, for 27 minutes? 27 and a quarter minutes, and he's made probably about 9, maybe 10 harsh, questionable decisions against England. Not been good enough by half. Sterling for England now, darting away from the centre circle, deep into Polish territory. Shaw on possession, back to Grealish, who should have been fouled a few moments ago. Or should have had a free kick a few moments ago. Shaw again, hugging that left touchline, finds Mount. England patiently building up now, as quickly as they can. And if you're wondering where the scoreboard is, we do apologise. You're going to have to trust in what I'm describing tonight, because our producer Russ is busy watching the England game. He is a England fan. But we'll try and keep you abreast with the score every 2 or 3 minutes on TC Hub. It is an audio commentary, so as a rule we have to anyway. Paulo Sousa has given away, his side has given away a free kick, or got a free kick. And again, that looks questionable. I think he's made a bit more of a meal of it there. He slipped with me, Karajak. For me, I don't think that was a free kick at all. But it has been given to Poland. They've got on with it quickly, but thankfully it's come to nothing. But Poland have it on the far side. And it's all getting faster now as Lewandowski breaks away towards the area, but had to go back in field. The ball not forward. And Lewandowski's chasing it. He's trying to flick it goalwards. And okay, Pickford, who saved well, and I think there may have been a foul there by Lewandowski as he tried to burst through and flick that ball over Pickford's head. There it is again. No, it was a big chance. I think that was a decent chance for Poland. Phillips and Walker caught him no man's land, and Pickford knows that's a big save. England was still in it at 0-0, but Poland now starting to ask 1 or 2 questions. But the game has been littered with some very iffy refereeing from the German Daniel Seibert. Not been good enough at all. He's given 7, 8 or 9 questionable decisions against England when 2 of them should have been English corners. Passes completed, Poland 70, England a whopping so far 149. Probably now got past the 150 mark. England get a throw. Sterling has won it on the far side, in line with the Polish penalty area. Or rather the edge of the penalty area. Ball played in from Walker, but it's been cut out there. And it was lost by England. Now Poland have got possession. It's number 7 now, Jokovic now in possession. Still 0-0 here. And here's Linetti. Linetti just looking for some runners, and he has to go backwards. So half an hour gone in Warsaw. Group I of the World Cup qualification for Qatar next year. And at the moment it's Poland 0, England 0. And the atmosphere just being cranked up a volume in Warsaw right now. Ball possession has now swung in England's favour. 63% of the ball to Poland's 37. But Poland have had the best chance. Lewandowski about 2 minutes ago, forcing Jordan Pickford into his first serious action of the match. 31 gone. England in possession. 0-0 is the score. England win tonight. They are 1 foot on the plane to Qatar. 5 points was the gap from England in first place to Poland in second place. A win for England tonight would take them a whopping 8 points clear. And surely on the plane to Qatar, but there's still a lot of work to be negotiated first. Pollard having on the far side. Lewandowski's waiting in intent in the middle. The shot comes in from the left and sails over Pickford's bar from the Brighton playing border and a goal kick. Well, Sterling lost it. May have been close to being fouled, actually. And then Lewandowski picked the ball up there. And a little bit of a battle royal there. This was the chance for Lewandowski. May have been a power on Sterling in the build-up as well, but that said, you would have expected Lewandowski to have found the target from there. That bit of play got a little Polish man's seal of approval. She gave 2 thumbs up. 5 for 4 in total attempts to Poland. And from reckoning, that was the first shot, in fact, in target of the entire match, that Lewandowski chance. And here comes Poland again with Lewandowski, but it's just a bit behind. Still Poland keep possession. And here's the number 7 now, Jozwak. Trying to go past his opposite number, Grealish. Jozwak again just tries to go down that right-hand channel. Cross comes in from the far side. That was from Domajic. Not a very good cross. It was probably a bit too deep for what Poland wanted. And now Sterling comes away with the ball. He's got Kane up ahead of him. Still Raheem Sterling. And sure he was fouled. Sure he was fouled. The referee says no. And Poland now come forward with Lewandowski running towards the penalty area. Chances here now. Ball played in. McGuire gets across for England. Good defending. But here's Lewandowski on the edge of the area. Left of the D. Still Lewandowski. Poland keeping possession nicely. Could Sterling have had a possible free kick? Well, we'll find out when we have a look at the replay in just a second. If they do bring us a replay. You never know with Polish television. 33.5 minutes gone. It's Poland nil, England nil if you've just joined us. But Lewandowski's missed the best chance so far for the Poles. The ball cut out and Phillips is now on the chase. He's got Sterling to his right. This is Sterling now breaking it for the right and it's a wasteful ball. Kane trying to get on the end of it. I think if Phillips had had his time again, he had Kane practically unmarked through the centre and could have laid him in because he was onside as well. Just a little bit of inexperience shown by the Leedsman there. But at the moment, it's still 0-0. Here's Phillips again. Finds Shaw, left-hand side. Shaw, the Manchester United man. He's had a terrific last 12 months. As regards club form and international form, he was certainly superb during the summer's European Championships. And boy, did we enjoy his performances so far. Been tough going for England, but they're still in it at 0-0. And that's the crucial thing. Poland 0, England 0 is the scoreline in Warsaw. England, like Hungary on last Thursday, just have to be a little bit patient and try and pick their way through. Poland have given them a bit of a test tonight. That is for sure. And Stones is injured on halfway and he's had to put the ball out. This is a blow. Now they do have Conor Cody on the substitutes bench. And this would be a huge blow if John Stones was to leave the fray early on. This will be a huge blow for England. That is for sure. Conor Cody may be warming up now at this stage. Polish fans not as hostile as we thought they might be at the moment. Jesse Lingard there as one of the substitutes. Dick Pope there. We'll be back in action on Monday night when Burnley take on Everton. In fact, when Jordan Pickford will be playing for Everton that night as well. Jesse Lingard has actually turned down a move or a new contract at Manchester United, we're told. Maybe West Ham will be now pushing for a permanent bid and deal, and possibly in the January transfer window. And of course, women's football is coming around the corner as well. They play on the 17th of September at 6:15 on Friday the 17th of September. Women's World Cup Qualifier being played at Southampton St Mary's Stadium. That was a foul on Stones, and I think Lewandowski went in there very strongly. Well, the Polish fans are getting behind their team. I don't think there's any doubt about it. It's been a tough 36 minutes of examination. John Stones now just trying to run the knock off. And he's a tough cookie, John Stones. No two ways about it. Last time I covered Poland was in the Euro finals. You may remember that brilliant game in Seville between Poland and Spain. Spain took the lead. Poland equalised. Both goals were questionable, if I remember that night, but VAR decided to give them, if you remember. And then Szczesny made a superb penalty save. In fact, he won our Man of the Match award. I gave him Man of the Match award, if I remember, during that match. One of the best goalkeeper displays during that month when we were playing in the European Championships. Right, so 38 minutes gone. You're live on the TC Hub. You're also live on JB Sports, JDAC Football. You've got English commentary tonight, not Arabic. We're also on Storm FM and, of course, Commentary Hub 2. We're also live on Periscope and Twitter and Twitch. And I can tell you that Poland 0, England 0 is the current scoreline here. As both teams separated by 5 points. England top the group with maximum points for their 5 games so far. And if my maths is correct, they've got 15 points. Poland currently are on 10. A win for Poland tonight, incidentally, would move them 2 points behind England in the group table, with it all to play for, incidentally. An England win will move them to 18 points. And will move them a good 8 points ahead of Poland in the table. A draw will take England on to 16 points and the Poles 11. Lewandowski looks suspiciously offside to me as he got the ball there, but he's been allowed to play on. Points a little cross in there, which Pickford under no great pressure takes. 39 gone. Lewandowski proving a threat so far, but England haven't been pierced yet. This is Grealish now on the left-hand channel. Looks for Kane. Kane trying to pirouette, just slips a little bit there. Referee quite happy about that. That's an English throw. Kane just slipped on the floor as he tried to turn, which wasn't the easiest thing to do in the world. It's got to be said. Going up towards the 40th minute mark here across all the TC Hub platforms. Remember, Mellon is our streaming partner for this season. As Kane gets the cross in there, and it's come out to Sterling, far side. Sterling has got Walker on the overlap. Sterling goes in field from the right-hand side. Good skills from Sterling. He doesn't use Walker, but he uses Kelvin Phillips. Now Walker is used. Back to Phillips. 2 Yorkshiremen combining. 1 from South Yorkshire, 1 from West. Here's the guy from Sheffield, Kyle Walker. Bit of Sheffield stealing this guy. And that looked a foul there on the Englishman, but again the referee decided play on is the call. And I thought Phillips had kept that in, but he hadn't. Well, the referee has not been England's friend for most of this first 40 minutes that we've been playing. That looked a foul there to me on Grealish, rather than the other way around. There's a cross from Lewandowski. Wasn't troubling Pickford too much. Lewandowski trying to conduct things here. Despite they played earlier on at Wembley in I think it was March, I think. England won 2-1, but it was not without a fight. I tell you, the Poles put up a great fight, even without Lewandowski. He wasn't in the team though then. But He's back for this one tonight. He's trying to better now. Linetti's kicked the ball away. Grealish doesn't like it. And the German referee's got to start booking some of these Polish players. It's not good enough. When you book Kelvin Phillips for something innocuous as a first foul, then Linetti has got to be booked instantly for blatantly kicking the ball away. This referee is winning no favours with this commentator. But Canigo silenced the referee and probably 60,000 Poles with it if they can convert from this free kick chance. Shaw's going to take it. He's going to float it in from the left-hand side. Just a little bit in field from the left-hand side, but it's to the left of the D. It's about 40 yards from goal. Shaw, not really a very good free kick, it's going to be said, but the ball bounces up and out a bit. And the corner kick has been given to England. So a chance here now for Stones and Maguire to go forward. Joy Kane and Sterling all in there. Attempted close by Mona, came away for a corner. Matt's going to take it to Chelsea, man. We're inside the last 2 or 3 minutes. We will let you know how Northern Ireland and Wales are doing as soon as the final whistle, as soon as the half-time whistle blows here in Walsall. Matt's corner, right-footed, in it goes towards Maguire, who nearly got the header in. Comes to Shaw, just outside the area, left-hand side. Shaw's cross, not the best, I'm afraid. And Phillips takes possession. The only player so far to have been booked. A couple of Polish players should have followed him in the book. Here's Shaw, left-hand side. Shaw now running forward. Kane now offering support. Looks for Phillips. Phillips now trying to get it out to the far side, in which he does. Mount holds it up well. And throwing it's been given this time to Pollard. It did come off Mount last. 2 minutes to go of time. Plus any injury and stoppage time that we're going to have at the end of the first half. So many World Cup battles between these two over the years. 1973, Kanowicki, when England were beaten 2-0. And Alan Ball was sent off. 1973, October, when Tomaszewski pulled off all those magnificent saves and was called a clown by a certain Brian Clough. There was a cancellation of the game, or there was sort of an abandonment of the game, which was replayed later on when there was a sort of a storm, a rainstorm, which battered the pitch in this very stadium, and they couldn't close the roof, and the pitch was a complete quagmire and couldn't play on it until, what was it, 24 hours later. England did win that game, incidentally. In fact, it was a 1-1 draw. But it didn't matter one jot because they didn't qualify for that year's World Cup under Roy Hodgson, which they failed miserably in. Anyway, here come Pollard inside the penalty area. Maguire again. Terrific tackle. Looked as if he was going to get away. Now Kane on halfway. Kane now looks for Sterling. Sterling has now gone to the right. This is Raheem Sterling. Running towards the edge of the penalty area. Cuts in field. Looks for Phillips. Phillips is found. Shaw is there on the left. We're inside the final minute of the first half. Kane now has possession. The Tottenham man. Looks for Rice. Rice on his turn to Walker. Now Grealish. We'll have a go now on the right-hand side. See if he can make the desired effect. Mount offers support. Grealish back to Mount. Grealish again. The former Aston Villa man now with Manchester City, of course. Grealish running towards the area. Taking on all comers. And he's got Shaw away. Who's in acres of space. Cross comes in. Half parried by Schneisley. Comes to Grealish again. Shot comes in from Phillips. Deflects. And somehow Pollard getting away. Pinball machine time on the edge of the area. 200 minutes at the end of the first half. And we're into the first of those. And we've had 27 seconds of the first of the 2 minutes. Grealish just has to go on a Shaw. And Shaw just about gets there. Shaw on the left-hand side. Back to Phillips. Still on the left-hand side. And here goes Grealish again. To Sterling. Sterling trying to come away from 2 white-shirted defenders. Given away stupidly there by number 8 there, which was Phillips. And England just in a little bit of trouble. But they've got men back. 1 minute of the 2 to go. Can England hold it out for half-time and just get it at 0-0 and just regroup, maybe? And no free kick given. Oh, has he given a free kick? I think he's given a free kick. Foul there on Pucek. Kyle Walker, the offender. Been a feisty first 45 minutes. Gets away from Kane. This is the replay. In fact, it was Rice. No, it wasn't Rice. It was Mount, sorry. Mount. Trying to keep one eye on the game and one eye on the notes. We're in a difficult first half, but England now, if they can negotiate this free kick without any piercing or Pickford being beaten, then they'll get to that half-time milestone, knowing that they've still got a chance. And the trick now is not to go in behind, and Gillick is being spoken to by the referee, so too is Walker, and Gillick is now trying to... Gillick needs to just shut up and stop telling the referee. And I have to say, some of the Polish players, their behaviour towards the referee has been disgusting, trying to influence them in every way, shape or form. It's been truly disgusting, and we're way past the 2 minutes now. And Gillick would be best advised to shut up and let the referee get on with it. Free kick comes in, Maguire got it away. Surely that must be that. And it is that, and that's the half-time whistle. 0-0 at half-time, but the best chance of the match fell to Robert Lewandowski halfway through the first half. He tried to knock it goalwards with his right foot, but it went straight in the arms of Jordan Pickford. And I think there's a little bit of a fracas going on here between Gillick and 1 or 2 others, and the referee's in there to sort it out. I don't think we're finishing there. Kieran Trippier getting involved with the subjects. I think the referee could be in for some criticism here. Yellow cards being waved around somewhere wrong, and Maguire is fuming. I think something Gillick said has sparked all this off, and I think Gillick should be booked. I think Gillick should be booked. Kane being spoken to now by the referee. Gillick's involved. I think he started it all. And I think the referee needs to book Gillick for this. We're going to stay with this for a second or two before we bring you the Northern Ireland scores and the Welsh scores, because we need to clear this one up. England have not had the bulk of the referee decisions, and I've got to be honest, the Poland players, some of the play acting from them was disgraceful. Gillick is now back on the field. Referee wants words with him, and he should be booked. This is not good enough. This is poor sportsman. This is not good. All that respect, malarkey that Lewandowski was sprouted at the start was completely unfounded, and Gillick, quite rightly, is going to be shown the yellow card, and if he doesn't shut up, will be shown the red one. Now both Gillick and Maguire having words spoken to there by the referee. The rest of the teams, the rest of the players going off. Jordan Pickford furious with Bednarek. Harry Kane still on the field. Robert Lewandowski still on the field. We're going to stick with this. Maguire is furious. Yellow card to Gillick, and a yellow card to Maguire! I don't believe that! It was Gillick's fault all the way, and Maguire's been booked, and I do not understand why. Gillick, the number 15, rightly booked, and Maguire's been booked wrongly, from my opinion. Oh my goodness me, it's all happened here. Oh, dearie me. So it's 0-0 anyway, 0-0 at half-time. But before I go for 10 minutes to get my breath back and calm down, Gillick, I'm surprised the referee didn't get out the red one, because he argued and made a mountain out of a hole. He started it all for me, and I don't think he deserves any sympathy at all. Gillick should have been sent off, but there we go. Right, before I leave you, let's check what's happening in the Northern Ireland and Wales games, or I'll check you all the scores. I mean, these Eastern European teams, they do like to go a little bit over the top. But I don't think the referee has had his finest 45 minutes. There's no two questions about that. Right. Anyway, let's try and get a quick halftime update in the other games, and just having a problem or two with the laptop at the moment. It seems to want to put something else on other than what I want to put on at the moment, which is not very fair. I'll try and clear up that incident as well. Let's try and clear up that incident. I'm just going. There was a bit of pushing in, but I felt Gillick had started it all. I think Gillick started it. In my humble opinion, he started it. And that's not me trying to look for scapegoats. I saw it with my own eyes, and I felt that was the case. And he's got a bit of a reputation, Gillick, for being over the top. Now, Maguire's incensed now. And I'm getting seriously exasperated because something keeps coming up that I don't want to see come up. And Kamal Gillick. Now, I wonder what happened there. I think I can't make sense of what it's all about. I think Gillick must have said something out of 10. I think that's what it's all about. I think he started it, quite frankly. And I think if that is the case, then I think he should be. I think that's completely and utterly unacceptable. Right. Right. Well, before we get our breath, let me just check what's happening elsewhere around Europe. We will get to the other scores. Right. Tonight, full-time score, Armenia 1, Liechtenstein 1, a point apiece from that one. Iceland 0, Germany 2, that's half-time. North Macedonia 0, Romania 0, Greece 0, Sweden 0. All these half-times, incidentally. Kosovo 0, Spain 1. Italy now 4 up against Lithuania, so the European champions' massive unbeaten run will continue. Northern Ireland 0, Switzerland 0 at Windsor Park. Belarus 0, Belgium 1. Wales 0, Estonia 0 in Cardiff. Albania 1, San Marino 0. Hungary 2, Andorra 0. And of course, as you heard, Poland 0, England 0. So there's some friendlies as well, 2 of them. Bulgaria 4, Georgia 1. That's a full-time score. And in the other friendly, the Czech Republic 0, Ukraine 1. So that keeps you up to date with all the World Cup qualifiers and international friendlies this evening. We're going to take a quick 10-minute break because we need to get our breath back. That is for sure. Russ has been on and says never a booking for Phillips or Maguire. I agree. But we're going to take a quick 10-minute break and we'll be back well in time for the second half. With the scoreline here in Warsaw on the TC Hub, Poland 0, England 0. Welcome back to the TC Hub and on all the participating channels where at half time we're at 0-0. Just to remind you, there's been a bit of development in the Northern Ireland game. I've just been told that Bailey Peacock-Farrell during that first half in Belfast at Winter Park has saved another penalty, which has kept Northern Ireland very much in their game. Wales are 0-0 in Cardiff, of course. We're 0-0 here. We're just waiting for the teams to come out, but I've had another look at the fracas at the end of the first half, and yeah, I think Grealish could have been sent off. I think what he did to start the whole thing up by going up to one of the England players' necks and almost strangling him, I thought that was thuggish, and I think he should have been red carded straight away. I agree with Russ that Phillips was unlucky to be booked, and I think Maguire was unlucky to be booked. He had every right to have words with Grealish at the end of the first half. The polls obviously are making it difficult for England, and of course the fans, of course it's going to be difficult, but England have just got to keep their discipline now. If they do that for the next 45 minutes as they come out into this hostile arena here, and I'm hoping and praying that they don't get any racial abuse, but let's hope not anyway. But England have battled well. A draw would still be okay result for England, but they've really been in a test there. But I just think some of the tactics employed by Paulo Sousa have been borderline over the line, overstepped the mark, as far as I'm concerned. But let's see how England go in the second half. I don't think there's any changes being made by either side, but we will keep a check. Just to remind you of the England bench, incidentally, Pope in goal, Pope and Johnson, the two goalkeepers. Both of Burnley, West Bromwich Albion, Kieran Trippier of Atletico Madrid, Jordan Henderson of Liverpool, Conor Cody of Wolverhampton Wanderers, Bukayo Saka of Arsenal, Trent Alexander-Arnold of Liverpool, Jesse Lingard of Manchester United, Reece James of Chelsea, Jude Bellingham of Borussia Dortmund, formerly of Birmingham City, of course, and Patrick Bamford of Leeds. They're the substitutes this evening. So it's the same 11 that finished the first half for England, and it's the same 11 that will start the second half as finished the first half. Watch it essentially there. I'm just seeing. And Gillett, the number 15 there, very lucky in my opinion to still be on the pitch. I don't think he should be on the pitch for this second half, but that's my reading of the situation here. Certainly he caused it all when tempers really got frayed at the end of that first half. As we look at this Stadion Novotny, that's a beautiful stadium, it's got to be said here. As the Polish fans start getting behind their team in good preparation for the second half. So drama elsewhere with Northern Ireland and Bailey Peacock-Farrell, the man who's still on the books of Burnley, but now on loan to Sheffield Wednesday for the rest of the season. Making some very good saves there. There's Harry Kane. And I'm afraid Daniel Seibert has not had his finest hour so far. Will he improve in the second half? Let's hope so. You're live on TC Hub, JB Sports, JDAT Football, Storm FM, and Commentary Hub 2 as we get this second half underway. We're also live on Twitter, Periscope, and Twitch. Live commentary across the board. Alternate of England against Poland against England. These two have been in massive battles in World Cup qualification matches over the years. But now, this next 45 minutes is crucial for England. A 0-0 draw would not be the worst result in the world. It would keep them at arm's length, still 5 points clear. And I want that to be as well worst case as they can. A defeat would not be an option for Gareth Southgate tonight. I think the point that the television pundits made at half-time when we were off air was England were probably a little bit safe in terms of the way they went. Just to remind you that the Polish lineup: Szczęsny, Dorovic, Bednarek, Jovic, Dorvac, Lenetti, Lewandowski, Kardjuak, Busquets, Gillick, who should have been sent off, Moda of Brighton, and Pichech of completing the lineup. England: Pickford, Walker, Shaw, Rice, Stones, Maguire, Grealish, Phillips, Kane, Sterling and Mount are the 11. So both still the same 22 players from the first half. So it's a back four: Walker, Stones, Maguire, and Shaw. Incidentally, Walker at right back, and it's the two holding midfielders tonight with Rice and Phillips, and Sterling, Mount, and Grealish pair before. This is Grealish now running towards the penalty area. Grealish crosses in and across the face, and Schnessy just lets it go past the post. Grealish thinks he got a nick on that, the goalkeeper, but I think he's given a goal kick. And this German referee doesn't want to know. I'd like to look at that one again from another angle. This is Grealish again. When he gets on that ball, he's dynamite. Let's see if the goalkeeper actually got a touch here. Because Grealish hit it with the left foot. He was adamant. And I think he got a feather on that. And I think Grealish has every right, or he's entitled to feel aggrieved about that decision. And once again, another questionable decision from the German referee. 6 attempts in all for both sides. Still 0-0 here in Poland. We'll let you know how Northern Ireland and Wales get on at the end of the night. In terms of their results, Italy 4 up at half time. Their unbeaten record is good as carrying on. Looking very good at the moment, the Italians, the European champions. Here's Sterling now, right-hand side. Sterling, he put a couple of defenders on the seat of his pants, and still he has it there. Gets to the byline, but it wasn't offered any support at all. And in the end, the attack breaks down. But just for a moment, Sterling had just broken in from the right-hand side, but just needed a little bit of support, maybe. And if he had got that support, England might have been in for the opening goal. There were a little. Well, every Englishman will hope that that this game takes the same path as Hungary, because we did struggle to break them down in the first 45 minutes on last Thursday, and we scored 4 unanswered goals in front of some when the England players took a almighty lot of English abuse. Let's hope we don't get that this evening in terms of racial abuse, because we don't need it in the game of football. Free kick given against Phillips on Lewandowski. Phillips has got to watch himself. However harsh that booking was in the first half, he really has to watch it now. And I just think there's been some sort of play with Paulo Sousa at the moment. I think they know they haven't got the skill factor of Poland, but what they do have is massive team spirit. But I've not been impressed by some of the antics that's caused England players to be forced into being booked. And I think Gillick, I still maintain, should have been sent off the field for what he did that sparked that record at the end. Here he is on the ball. Gets it forward again and looking to Piszczek. And that, I thought that was good. I thought that was good upper body. That was a good shoulder charge. Used his body strength well, Kelvin Phillips. Yeah, nothing wrong with that at all. Good old-fashioned shoulder charge, which Phillips came off best. If you start taking physicality like that out of the game, Gillick, well, he's took one in the ribs. I've no sympathy with him, obviously, for his for the trouble he caused at the end of the first half, really, which caused all that fracas. I've got to be honest, couldn't happen to a nicer fella, but anyway, back with the game. Here's Harry Kane now for England. Ball out to Grealish. This man will take him on. Grealish now up to Sterling. Sterling inside the penalty area. Still going Sterling. And everyone stopped for a second. They thought the offside flag had got up. It hadn't. The ball played in there towards Kane. Can't be found. Shaw would have crossed that time. Rice takes it up for England. There was definitely no offside flag. Here's Shaw. Back to Grealish. Grealish now loses possession. And England now just got to watch their step a little bit. Grealish with a superb tackle. And sure, he was checked there. And that's got to be a yellow. That's got to be a free kick on halfway to England. Clear push there by number 7, Jozowak. And I think he should be booked. Clearly had no intent to play the ball. Pushed him. There are 2 Polish players on their roaches. One is the aforementioned Gillick. There he is. And Bednarek of Southampton, the other man down. This is what happened before. Sterling trying to take on all comers there. And then it came to Shaw. It was a good cross by Shaw. And Bednarek out himself when clearing the ball. Accidental collision there. And yeah, well done, Harry Kane. Nice little dig into Gillick's ribcage. A bit of payback from the England captain for all the trouble that Glick started at the end of the first half. Back with the goalkeeper now, Pickford, who's, apart from that one save from Lewandowski, has not had much to do. Here's Maguire now for England. Can they overcome the injustices? Here's Maguire again from the pass there by Walker. Polish substitutes warming up there. Number 6 there is Helik, who's an experienced defender of his own steam. Or experienced player of his own steam there, number 6. It's England in possession now with Harry Maguire, the Manchester United skipper, going towards the edge of the area. Shaw, his United colleague in space, plays a 1-2 with Maguire. Maguire now, he nearly got it back to Shaw. And it was well read by the Polish defence, but they've given it to Phillips. Phillips lines it up right foot, and he says actually very well. Shot on target, and he hit that with some force. It was, admittedly, it was straight down Sledgley's throw, but it was a good piece of goalkeeping. Walker gets possession. Good tackles flying now. I was just starting to see a much more open and expansive game. Maybe the two teams just need to settle down and play a bit of football. England's first shot on target. This is Shaw, left-hand side. Short's cross, charge away. It's a throw into England. They're having a good few minutes now, the English. Jos Wacko to get a block in that time. 53 gone. 8 minutes into the second half. Poland 0, England 0 in Warsaw. Live alternate commentary on TC Hub, TC Hub 2, JB Sports, JDAT Football and Storm FM. Also, we're live on Periscope, Twitter and Twitch, and our Twitter handle is at Commentary Live 1. JB, John Stuttard, your commentator for tonight's game. Earlier on, Nicholas Jones brought you delayed commentary of Scotland's famous victory last night in Austria. And what a match it was. And he did it live as it happened last night, and we played it out for you this afternoon. A great night for Scottish football last night. Can it be a great evening for English football? Free kick to England. Davidic has been fouled there. Look at Bakary Saka there. Could he make the impression? Just seeing that shot from Phillips. And Gavin, the goalkeeper, Szczesny watched it all the way. Got a foot to put the ball down and grab it at the second attempt. Anyway, 7 fouls each committed in the game. Shaw's got this gun free kick. This has been a proper international. This has been such a competitive game. Maybe it was the test England needed after 2 relatively easier games against Hungary and Andorra. Free kick taken by Shaw towards the back post. Maguire couldn't grow enough. And in the end, Poland get it away for them, resolute safety. And they've ridden the storm a little bit now. That's the good news from Paolo Sousa's point of view. Lewandowski touches that on. But at the moment, England have had a good start to the second half. Can they keep that up? Obviously, Gareth Southgate having 1 or 2 choice words, I'm sure, at half-time. Of course, the game not littered with too many clear-cut opportunities. Best half, best remember for a fracas, which Gillick started. Ball played in from the left-hand side. Well taken by Pickford. England have had 61% possession of this game. And Poland just 39%. 10 minutes got in the second half then. Poland 0, England 0 is the scoreline in Warsaw. That's in Poland and not in the West Midlands. Anyway, here's Walker down that side, and he's got Sterling in behind, and he's onside. He's got Kane in the middle. Sterling tries to go back in there. Sterling goes down, but no foul was going to be given. And Poland have possession. The ball not back and out of play. It's been a tough start to the second half for the Poles. Maybe they're just starting to tire a little bit, and Southgate can possibly sense it. Can England break through now just when it matters most? The Polish fans trying to urge their team on, and some people may argue that Glick should have been sent off at half-time. First of all, for starting the fracas, and started it all really when he put his hands up to somebody's neck, an England player's neck. Here's Walker now for England. Back to John Stones. Harry Maguire close at hand, on halfway. Gets it out to Declan Rice, who's got Shaw on the left-hand side, and he uses Shaw. Shaw now, will he have a run at that Polish defender? Rice is there too at close at hand. So too is Grealish. Grealish of Manchester City uses Shaw of Manchester United. Now Rice of West Ham United. Flag stays down. Grealish has it far side. Into Shaw. And Shaw was in a lot of space. Shaw's cross deflects. It's a corner kick to England. Came off the Polish defender, Glick. And he's still on his haunches. He's still carrying on. And Howell will snooze a little bit before substituting him. He's actually in some considerable agony. Hits his chest. Arms were down behind his back. But once again, Raheem Sterling started the move off now in his own inimitable way. I think he tried to do too much. Here comes the corner. In it goes towards Maguire. Comes out on the edge of the box. Shot comes in from Mount. Deflects high up in the air. Headed away by Poland. And I think there was a bit of a... I think there was one or two bits of pushing and shoving, and the free kick has been given to Poland. And Glick, I have to say, might not be able to continue for much longer. Poland's still taking their time with substitutions. They're giving Glick now something like 10 minutes of the second half to try and run this injury off. Offside was given, in fact, against Harry Kane. I don't think he's going to last the game. Glick, I really don't. But he should have been sent off in the first half. And no foul. Play on, says the referee. Fair charge from Maguire. Now England have it with Rice. Can England find something now to unlock this Polish defence? Walker has possession on the right-hand side. In he goes to Phillips. Phillips now decides to dart in field. Walker would have been a better outlet on that near side, I fancy. But they're going to go left again. Shaw in field. But he goes out to the left-hand side. Grealish wants it and gets it, and he's onside. Jack Grealish now into Mount. Mount back to Shaw. Now to Mount again. England looking for this opening goal. Round the corner superbly. Mount is in there. Good football again from England. Shaw now on the left-hand side. Rice has possession. The West Ham man. Shaw now at Manchester United. Back to Rice. Rice looking for options. Coming up to an hour played on all the TC Hub official networks, including JDAT Football, JB Sports, TC Hub 2, and Storm FM. Yellow card going to come out. Yes, and about time too. Karajecki's booked. It was a clear foul from behind, and I think it was on. I'm trying to work out who it is. Yep, Jack Grealish. You guessed it. Literally 2 seconds after the ball had gone. And England are forcing the Poles into some indiscipline here. We're going to see Swedeleski coming on. Will it be for Glick, I wonder? Yeah, it's been struggling the first quarter hour of this second half, which we've had so far. So 60 gone. Poland 0, England 0. Is the scoreline here in Warsaw. Northern Ireland and Wales in World Cup action. We'll let you know how their game's finished at full time in this one. As Maguire wins the header, and it's gone off the post, has it? No, it's not crossed the line. Maguire hit the far post. It was a beautiful free kick. Certainly Maguire was up. Sterling was also in there to try and finish it off. And then Bednarek got the rebound clear. And in fact, there was a bit of pushing going on. A free kick is, I think there was a bit of a fracas inside the area, or a little bit of a set to, which has been clearly, it's short free kick from the left-hand side. And I think Sterling was in an offside position. Maguire heads it. It's going in the net and it hits the post. I think the flag had actually got up for offside rather than a bit of pushing and shoving on the line. And I hope FIFA get rid of this silly offside law, but you've got to let the game finish and you've got to let the move finish before putting the flag up. If the player's offside, flag it straight away. Saves all this ridiculous nonsense. Been a bugbear of mine for 18 months or more, this offside ruling, and I think it needs to stop. Get back to the old system. If he's offside, stop the game and give a free kick to the opposition. That is my interpretation of what it should be. But still 0-0 in Walsall tonight. And Maguire just committing Harry Carey. Oh, he got away from it there. Looked for a moment as if he was going to lose possession there. The Manchester United man, England's attack breaks down. And we're going to see. Well, it's number 14, Bushka, is going to come off. Bushka is coming off. He's just had a look now. Kobe first giving him a little friendly shove. Come on, mate. It's you that's going off, mate. Going on your way. So Bushka's coming off. And Swiderski is going to come on now for Poland. That's the first change. Paulo Sousa gives him another pat on the back saying, well done, mate. You did your best. Swiderski now will come on now and see what he can do. So they've used one of their substitutes. Of course, all the 23-man squad can be used, although England have one substitute light at the moment due to Tyrone Mings, who was in the squad, but obviously is out through injury. So the ball now laid back to Jordan Pickford. Hasn't had anything to do other than kick balls away in this second half, which tells you the amount of domination England have had in this game. Free kick has been awarded to England. No advantage there. Harry Kane tripped and he's asking, come on, that's it. If it's, he reckons Kalajdziak should be off for the second yellow card. As the Polish officials and the Polish fans now start to try and get behind their team a little bit, because they're under a great deal of pressure. This is Raheem Sterling. Sterling into Phillips. Phillips knocking it back once more and out towards the far side. Here comes Declan Rice for England. Here's Jack Grealish, and this man will run at people. Tries to play 1-2 with Mount. Grealish looks as if he was being blocked off deliberately there by the Polish player, but throwing given to England in line with the 18-yard box of Poland on the left-hand side, the far side as I look. Shaw wanted to take it quickly, but wasn't allowed to. Shaw now looks for options. Grealish tries to touch it back, and touch it back he did, but behind Shaw, and really it was a cheap throw-in, unnecessarily conceded there by Jack Grealish. 0-0 here on the TC Hub, and I've got to start thinking about Solly away a man of the match, potentially. We're going to see another substitution very shortly for Poland. So Paulo Sousa now shuffling the pack as quickly as anything you would think. As Poland now have it on the near side again. We just hit one or two technical problems at the moment, but we'll keep with you. We'll just see this attack out as Poland come charging forward towards the penalty area. Shot comes in and over the top, and a goal kick it is for England. Good run there by Pericak. So we're just having one or two technical errors, and it's more to do with my monitor than anything else. My laptop monitor at the moment. Its noise is starting to go a bit like a Dalek at the moment, so we're just going to get that sorted out for you, and then we'll be back live with the commentary in just a second. It'll only take about 5 or 6 seconds for our technical boys, whiz kids, to fix this one. Always grandboys when I commentate, that is for sure. But that's just the way that technology works. But England somehow in this first sort of 20 minutes of the second half really have been the better side. Created one or two good opportunities. Maguire's hit a post, and really they should be in front by now. Of course, Poland will, we all think Poland should be down to at least 10 men. Gillick started all that fracas at the end of the first half, which was a complete free-for-all, really, when you look back at how that developed. And, for his sluggish nature that started the whole thing off, Maguire quite rightly was furious about the whole thing. He was booked unfairly, so in my humble opinion. And the whole thing was a complete farce at the end of the first half. That's why we stayed on air a wee bit longer than we usually do, because what we'd usually do in the olden days is break off, and what we would usually do in the olden days was break off straight away after the whistle had gone. We stayed on and we brought you that live, and as I say, we're just having one or two technical gremlins at the moment. It does happen, unfortunately, from time to time with these streams. So we'll try and we're just fixing that at the moment. It's just going a little bit slow, but England can be pleased at their 20 minutes of the second half so far. We're trying to bring you this as quickly as we possibly can. We do apologise, but we're into the 71st minute now, and it's 0-0, and we're back live with the action now. Sorry we had a little bit of technical difficulty, but we're now live, hopefully with the rest of the second half for you. Here's Grealish now into the penalty area. It's a poor ball just behind Raheem Sterling. Rice cuts the attempted attack out from Poland. Walking now to Kane, who's been a bit deeper this second half. Kane has the shot. Oh, it's a fantastic goal! Harry Kane with the right foot. 25-yard screamer. And it's been Szczesny Ireland up. And England leading Poland. The captain Kane is to the rescue once again. And the joy on the man's face says it all. The Stadium Novotny is complete and utter silence, and that silence is golden for English football. Harry Kane took it, and no Polish player came onto him, and it was a vicious, right-footed, swerving shot which did for Szczesny. It nestled beautifully in the left-hand corner, and England have the goal they so desperately wanted, and they've been the better side this second half. And that is the best possible way to silence the 60,000 Poles inside the Stadium Novotny. Gareth Southgate knows that's a big moment. And now if England can just hold on and keep a clean sheet, 3 crucial points are in the bag. 5 goals in 5 games. He got a brace against Hungary on Thursday. He didn't play in the game against Andorra, of course. Hence the 11 changes tonight. But... well, that silenced a few of the Polish support now, and justice has been done. And England have got on and played the football, and have done it and have silenced the critics and the Polish supporters in the best possible way. Captain Kane does it again. He'll be running down Wayne Rooney's all-time record for England, and that's another step towards it now. Great goal. 5 goals, as I say, in 5 qualifying games. That's a goal it's a goal practically every other game for Harry Kane. It's a superb statistic when you think about it. Grealish has been bundled to the ground by 2 Polish players. But England have got an insurance policy. They've got a goal lead. Grealish Roberts feels that he's been pulled over by the neck. Well, he had it. Well, the number 3 there, to Aberich, I think he's got away with a booking there. They do have VAR, and Bastian Dankart has not been used at all. I think if VAR had been working at full tilt tonight, I think one or two of those I think we would have had more bookings with the Polish players at this moment in time. But I think the referee is a bit of farce. Now, there's 2 players injured over there. Gillick again in the wars. Harry Kane is the other player. We hope it's nothing serious. I think Gillick has come off worse here because they're calling for the medical stuff, and Gillick is absolutely clattered the back of his hamstring, I think. Well, not his hamstring, but the back of his thigh anyway. Kane went for the ball. He's jarred his knee, I think. That's what's happened. Kane won the ball and won it fairly. And Gillick just went rifling into him and has injured himself, unfortunately. And the man who arguably should have been sent off is actually in quite some agony here. And I think he's been in the wars this second half. No doubt about it. And but I'll give him his fair dues. I did say he started the whole fracas at the end of the first half by putting a hand to somebody, one of the England players' necks. I forget who it was now, but he should have really been sent off. But there you go. So a quarter of an hour to play, and Captain Kane with the goal for England. Of course, the women's England women get their qualifying campaign for their World Cup qualifiers next week. On the 17th, they play North Macedonia at St Mary's in St Mary's Stadium, of course, in Southampton. So they will be the centre of attention next Friday. We might have that for you on TC Hub as well next week. We'll check that one out for you. Well, we're back underway now, and Glick is thankfully okay. We don't want to see I know we've had a right go at Glick tonight for his part in the nonsense at the end of the first half, but it's good to see him fit again and back on the field. Both teams are back to their compliment. Kaylee's okay, by the way. Oh, here's a chance now. Oh, that was a lovely ball played in there by Princhek, and he nearly found Swedesky, because if he'd have been found there, that only might have been the equaliser. Credit to Pickford for keeping his eye on the ball. Fumbled it, but got it at the second time. At the moment, a win and a clean sheet would be just a tonic. That's a foul. Clear foul on Sterling. The linesman on that near side was quick to the scene. A yellow card is being brandished to Pucek, and I'm not surprised now. The Polish are just losing their discipline somewhat now with 13 minutes to play. Clear yellow card. And a triple substitution being lined up in response to the goal by Paulo Sousa. England have taken it short, and back with the action now. It's Walker back to Sterling, right-hand side. Sterling into Phillips, who's had a decent game tonight. I've got 10 minutes to think of a man of the match or will win it. Certainly Harry Kane has put himself into the reckoning with a superb goal, a 25-30-yard daisy cutter. And here's Grealish. He's got to the byline. Grealish now just needed a bit of support. Didn't have anything open to him. Kane now keeps possession. Declan Rice, will he have a dig? Well, he's chipped it in towards Kyle Walker on the right-hand side. The flag stays down. Walker's cross gets a deflection. Ball played in there, edge of the area. Kane is there. Referee quite happy to play on. And here's Grealish again from Mount's pass. Back to Mount. Inside the area, Mount shoots. Too many white-shirted Poles in the way. And they come away with the ball now with Jozowek. But again, England showing that prowess again in the second half. They've had a super second half, the Three Lions. But they've lost possession again. I think Luke Shaw's going to be a candidate for his battleless running up and down the left. That's a foul. Foul on Kane. Free kick England. Yellow card again. Linetti booked, who should have arguably been booked earlier on in the piece. Well, he's finally got his yellow card now, hasn't he? Linetti. 78 and 3/4 minutes gone. And England will be happy to win a free kick, certainly about 10 yards outside the Polish penalty box, because it means England are well away from their own goal. And Glick, who's, in fairness to him, has been in the wars, but should have been sent off. Heerlich is going to replace him. And he started all that nonsense at the end of the first half, but in the second half, he's been in the wars. He had a bad digging the ribs and then hurt himself when challenging Kane about a few seconds ago. But Helik is coming on for him. We've also seen the end of Pušek as well. He's off on as well. And we've got Frankowski is on for Jozwak as well. That's the second one. And Pušek is also off. And Rebus is on for Poland as well. So that's 4 substitutes. I'll make it now for Poland in the last sort of 5 or 10 minutes. England get to use one as they kick the free kick towards the far post. It was Shaw again with the delivery. It'll come to Phillips here on the right-hand side and lets it go out. It's an English throw. England have been absolutely amazing in this second half. They've really took the fight to the home team, and Harry Kane has just proved yet again what a valuable commodity he is in goals for England. He doesn't score tap-ins. He's the sort of striker that doesn't score tap-ins. He specialises in the long-range shots as well. And he certainly came up with the goods there. This is Kane now for England. Kelvin Phillips has possession for England, and he goes back to John Stones. Stones again. Back to Jordan Pickford. Oh my goodness, Pickford has made a bit of a move and then he's got away with it. Pickford took far too long in clearing it right-footed. It then came off Swiderski and it was running back towards goal. That's the first mistake I can remember Pickford making. He took far too long there, hits it straight at the striker, the number 11, who blocked it quite brilliantly actually. And it could have easily been an equaliser, and it would have been of England's own making as well. England just switching off, and Jordan Pickford there almost costing his side an equalising goal. Foul by Rebus. Free kick to England. 81 minutes gone, or 81 and a half minutes gone. England out of jail there. The goalkeeper, Jordan Pickford, with a poor kick. Poland have committed 14 fouls, England 8. But a game littered with them. And I make that 22 fouls in total in the whole of the entire game. I'm amazed we haven't had more cards waved in this game, really. But I don't think the German referees had a good match, if I'm being perfectly frank. Nor would have Jordan Pickford if he made that mistake. He can't afford to make the same mistake twice. This time he's decided to hoof it clear, and this is why there's a lot of people saying that Nick Pope should be in the side because he wouldn't have got that because he plays for a certain club team who I happen to support. Because Jordan Pickford's the sort of goalkeeper, if he's in the squad because of his feet, then they picked the wrong goalkeeper. I'm not saying Pickford is bad in any way. His shot stopping's been exemplary, but I'll tell you what, his kicking has been called into close scrutiny there. It could have easily led to an equaliser. Here's Grealish. Into Rice. Into Sterling. Loses possession now. Poland come away with it. They'll be blamed at that missed opportunity, although it was a bit on the fortuitous side. Ball up forward. Lewandowski, he's onside. Out comes Pickford now. Just clear his lines. Oh, he's let it go. That's okay. Pickford did well there. Rebus is no slouch over a certain distance, but Pickford showed the good side of his goalkeeping there, just letting the ball run. The attacks from Poland now been very lightning fast. This is the goal again. Harry Kane taking it back 30 yards from goal. One touch to control, and then the shot was just unerring, really, into the left-hand corner. Stacey was beaten by the swerve of the ball because his right-footed effort, although it was quite a long way out, 30 yards, maybe a little less than that, it just swerved away from Chesney. There's a young Polish fan there, almost in tears. It looks like there. You could tell there's an anguished look on his face. So we will let you know how Northern Ireland are getting on at the end of the game. We'll let you know how Wales are getting on. But we can tell you that earlier on, Perry Peacock Farrell pulled off a smart penalty save. You'll be able to watch highlights of those on television tonight, around about 20 to 11, if you want to stay up and watch the football. Anyway, here's Declan Rice for England. Rice shoots, hits the defender. and falls nicely to the arms of Snesley. And here come Poland again. 1-0 England lead. Goal from Harry Kane after 72 minutes. Looks like being the difference. Although Pickford nearly gifted Poland a goal about 3 minutes ago when he hit a goal kick, a clearance off Zredierski, and it almost fell into the net. But Pickford had just about enough pace to get back and take the ball practically 2 yards from his goal line. Sterling was, that was a clear obstruction on Raheem Sterling, and the referee, no more than a yard or two away, decides to play on. I don't understand the way this referee is trying to do it tonight. Been poor. 64% England in possession, 36% Poland. Meanwhile, England have possession. Harry Kane. England have been the better side. There's no doubt about it. Just a bit strong there for Sterling from Kane. England yet to make a substitution. 5 to go. Will Southgate be tempted just to take off one or two of the better players and just shut up shop and just take the 1-0 win away from home? I think he would probably be best advised to do that now. But England on course for 18 points out of 18 from 6 games. Maximum points. It's not been done without it's not going to be done without a heart attack or 3. No foul there. Rice is okay to carry on, but he needs to hold possession because Sterling had wandered into an offside position. That's why Rice was reluctant to release it. That looked a foul on Phillips, but the job of referee keeping him bold with some questionable decisions has played on, but it leads to nothing for Poland. And Maguire again, he's had a super game. So too is John Stones, incidentally, at the back. I've got to think of a man in a match at the moment, and I've got 4 or 5 different English candidates. I can tell you that Jordan Pickford is not one of those candidates. A, he's only had the one save to make, and B, he almost cost England an equaliser. An equalising goal. I think Grealish has been up there. I think the 2 centre-backs are in the frame. And certainly Harry Kane has got to be taken seriously for his 30-yard thunderbolt. If I had to choose a candidate for man of the match from Poland, of course Lewandowski, but then he's been ineffective second half up until now, 3 minutes to full time. And it's been a tough night for England, certainly for Jordan Pickford in the last sort of 5 or 6 minutes. It's his free kick now towards Harry Kane. I'll pick my man of the match after this attack breaks down. As soon as we get a break in play, I will bring in my man of the match, of course, sponsored by Commentary Services for the season, and we're quite happy to have them as our sponsor for the season. A great enterprise as well. Gives young and inspiring football commentators a chance to do things like this, and hopefully we've got some new commentators being lined up for the hub. Hopefully you can get behind those in the next few weeks as well. Of course, the brilliant Nicholas Jones back on our airways earlier this evening anyway, with the delayed commentary of Scotland's famous win in Austria last night. Lyndon Dykes scoring that penalty. We'll let you know how Northern Ireland got on and Wales got on at full time. We're just going to keep with this for a second because Mulder, the Brighton players in possession. And we're going to go back now. They're going backwards to Bednarek now. We'll just see this attack out, and then we'll choose man of the match. Here's Lewandowski inside the area. Lewandowski having to go outside and gets his shot in and goes over Pickford's crossbar for a goal kick. Just a warning sign, even though Lewandowski has been rather in and out, shall we say, this second half. He's not been as effective. And he took that down beautifully well, didn't use his arm in any way. Got himself half a yard, but John Stones made sure that he wasn't given enough room to shoot, and it went sailing over the angle of post and crossbar. Didn't trouble Pickford too unduly. Man of the match, I'm going to choose, well, it's got to be Harry Kane, hasn't it, for that super 30-yard thunderbolt. But he's been here, there and everywhere. He's captured the side well. Just edged out Jack Grealish and the 2 centre-backs, Maguire and Stones for me. Harry Kane, just for that one moment of pure genius, wins our Man of the Match award, sponsored by Commentary Services, of course. So Harry Kane is our Man of the Match. But it's still 1-0, and we're into the last minute. Oh, and it was a slip there by Linetti. Otherwise, he might have been in there for a possible equaliser. Still in Linetti. The cross comes in. Dangerous moments now for England as Poland now try to turn up the power in the last few seconds. Rebus trying to keep it in as well on that near side, but it's on the far side that Poland have got it. Poland have used something like 4 substitutes. And at the moment, England hung it on to their point. Rebus now in possession. The ball hooked back across there. And this is real trouble now. Here's Mulder, the Brighton man. And they're keeping possession really well. And England now brought everybody back. They haven't made a substitution crucially here. Ball laid in. And it's deflects. And what's the referee giving here? Nothing there. 4 other minutes. Jordan Pickford just calming things down now. Ball was played in there. Oh, he hit Mount on the arm, but it was low down. But yeah, I did check it, and it was not going to be given. But Poland are still losing this game. But here they go again. Lewandowski's further forward, and they might get Rebus down on this left-hand side. England have just got to be patient. We've played nearly 1 of the 4 minutes. Danger here for England. They haven't got it out yet. The shot comes in. It was charged away. Desperate England defending. Referee telling players to get back to the speed. And it's gone in the back. It's gone into the back of the net. And Poland have got themselves the equaliser. It's Szymanski, the substitute, has got it. Poland have robbed England in the stoppage time. And again, they've barely deserved anything from it. That is disastrous. Poor luck on England. It's cruel luck on England. Jordan Pickford did not have a chance. Credit to Poland. They kept going and kept going. They got the cross in. And the substitutions have worked the oracle. And it's not going to be maximum points, I'm afraid, for Gareth Southgate's men, who are by miles the better side tonight. And Paulo Sousa's men, in my opinion, do not deserve to be level in this football match. Shot came in, it was charged away. Lewandowski kept it alive, crossed it in. And it was a slight header from the substitute Szymanski, who got the header in into the right-hand corner. But it's cruel luck on England, who do not deserve this. Do not deserve this at all. And in my opinion, the Poles are back in the game. They do not, repeat, not deserve to be levelling. But it's 1-1. And as things stand, the gap stays at 5 points. So, and he's been quite rightly booked for taking off his shirt. Why did players do that when they know full well they're going to be booked for it? Not right at all. And England, it feels like a defeat for them, but they've been the better side. And there's no way in this world that Poland deserve to be level in this match. No way in the world at all. They should have been down to 10 men at least, maybe 9 men. Glick should have been sent off. Krajewak should have been sent off himself. Poland are out of jail. They don't deserve it. 1 minute of the 4 to go. Poland won, England won. And again, they barely deserved anything in it, Poland. They've barely deserved it. Knocked away by Pickford. Harry Kane scoring after 72 minutes. But it's all in vain because the equaliser came in from a Lewandowski cross. But England have still done themselves proud. 7 points out of 9 is still not a bad little return when you try and put a positive spin on it. But England have not been helped by some iffy refereeing from the German officials. Corners, red cards that went away, that should have been given to Poland. But it's not to be. Referee gives England a free kick now. We're dealing these seconds now, but England, I don't think, are showing too much in the way of urgency. I think they're just going to take the point and move on for the next round of matches where they'll easily take maximum points from. And there goes the whistle, and the Polish, I'm afraid, have got a point they barely deserve. The two managers shake their hands. It's finished all square, but the Poles are celebrating as if they've won the game. The fact of the matter is, they are a big 5 points behind England right now, and England's still in control of the group. And as much as Poland will celebrate this draw, which they barely deserve, by the way, purely because they've had the refereeing decisions in their favour, some questionable ones at that, and certainly they were second best throughout the entire second half. England should not beat themselves up too much about this. It was a decent England performance tonight, but it's ended all square then, 1-1. Right, let's get some results elsewhere. Let's see how Northern Ireland and Wales have got on tonight, and let's check all the scores around Europe, because some of them will be still going on as we talk to you now. As we try and digest that game, Harry Kane got the man of the match, incidentally, sponsored by Commentary Services. Right, let's check all the scores tonight around Europe in all the World Cup qualifiers, and there were some international friendlies played earlier on. So let's go in order then. Armenia 1, Liechtenstein 1. That was an earlier halftime score. Iceland 0, Germany 4. That's a full-time score now. Some of these are full times. North Macedonia against Romania, that finished goalless. Greece 2, Sweden 1, but they are playing stoppage time in that one. So Greece leading 2-1. Russ reckons Phillips was the man of the match, obviously. But I'm going to give it Kane just purely on the basis of the goal and his all-round team performance. Anyway, back to the scores. Kosovo 0, Spain 2, and Italy 5, Lithuania 0. Northern Ireland have drawn 0-0 with Switzerland at Windsor Park in Belfast. That Beacott Farrell save has got Northern Ireland a point against a tough side in the Swiss. We saw them in the Euros and they were decently impressive. In the other game, Belarus 0, Belgium 1. And Wales have drawn 0-0 with Estonia in Cardiff. So 2 points dropped really for Gareth Bale and his troops. Albania 5, San Marino 0. Hungary 2, Andorra 1. And of course, Poland 1, England 1 is the full-time score, though England should have won that game comfortably by on the chances created. Bulgaria 4, Georgia 1. This is international friendlies now. And Czech Republic 1, Ukraine 1. We've got some Women's Champions League scores to bring you as well, because they're all full times. Glasgow City 1, Servette Women 2 on the night. 3-2 to Servette on aggregate. FC Cluj Women 2, Sparta Prague Women 0. Cluj winning 3-0 on aggregate. Lyon 2, Levante 1 in the second leg. 4-2 to Lyon on aggregate. Hacken Women 3, Valerenga Women 2. Hacken winning 6-3 on aggregate. Bordeaux 3, Wolfsburg 2. And Wolfsburg have won that on penalties after a 5-5 aggregate. 3-3 finished in Hoffenheim between the Hoffenheim women's team and the Rosengard women. But Hoffenheim go through 6-3 on aggregate. And Manchester City women are out, beaten 2-1 on aggregate by Real Madrid, with it beaten 1-0 tonight. In Brazil, Serie A, Chapecoense 1, Cremonese 2, Corinthians 1, Juventus 0, and no game between International and Red Bull Bragantino. That's because of international corps. And there's a fixture in the North Central America World Cup qualifying. That's at midnight British time. That's between Canada and El Salvador. In the Lowland League, Celtic B2, Gala Fairy D 0, and University of Stirling 1, Civil Service Strollers 0. And that just about covers everything to do with the football world tonight. But the big news really is that Northern Ireland drew 0-0 thanks to a Beacott Farrell penalty. A great draw that is for them. Wales have missed a chance to get 3 crucial points against an inferior Estonia side. And England were just a minute away from victory when the equaliser came in from Szymanski to cancel out Harry Kane's 30-yard thunderbolt. and deny England maximum points. But the positive, also the Poland arguably should have had at least a man, maybe two sent off for violent conduct and totting up of yellow cards. But let's not think of the negatives at this point. Still a positive England performance. The second half was an amazing second half performance, robbed in the end, and England should have been going away with all three. But it's only one they take. But the crucial factor is it's still a 5-point gap. There's more winnable games for England to come, and I have no doubts that they'll qualify. Thank you very much for listening. Don't forget, we'll be back at the weekend for football, for the AFL and Premier League action. We'll announce all games on Twitter for you on on Commentary Live 1 for you all to flip over, and of course we'll heavily promote those games if we do them. But until the weekend, from me, JB, and the rest of the Commentary Hub team, on a night where England was so close to victory but had it snatched away. This is the group table now. England's 16 from 6 points. Albania second now with 12 points. Poland third with 11. Hungary are fourth with 10. And Andorra have 3. San Marino have none, but a minus 23 goal difference. Hungary winning 2-1 against Andorra, and Albania winning 5-0 against San Marino. But thank you for listening to the game tonight. Disappointment at the end for England, but a decent performance. I don't think there'll be much doubt about them qualifying, will there? 7 points out of 9. It's not been a bad international break, has it? From me, JB, John Stunnon, and the rest of the TC Hub team, including producer Russ Verdin, have a very good night, and we'll see you all at the weekend. For me, take care. Good night.